Hello, bookish friends in the internet. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew, and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. And I hope you guys are going to have a great day or night, or not. The choice is yours. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Today's video is my September book haul. Yay! My favorite videos to not only watch, but also to make for myself. But I have so many amazing books here to talk to you today about. I went to Barnes & Noble with my friend Taylor. I'll leave that weekend reading vlog up above or down below. So I went to Barnes & Noble with my friend Taylor, got 8 books there, which 8 is a lot. And then I had a $100 gift card from Amazon that I used. So I used that and I got a lot of books during that. And a lot of these are either pre-orders that came in throughout the month of September, or they are just books that I have read and loved and just needed copies of. I just realized one of them is not in my stack yet, but that's okay. So I'm going to start out. I always start off my book hauls with what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading, I don't have the cover on. I'm currently reading The Weeping Tide by Amanda Foody. This is the second book in the Wild Lord series, and I'm actually really enjoying this. This is such a fast-paced middle grade, and I keep forgetting it's middle grade just because they say it on the page that the characters are like 11 or 12, but I'm like, wow, I'm reading this so quickly. I mean, I do have the audio on 2.5 speed, which I don't really need an audiobook for this one, but Steve West is the narrator for this series, and I really love Steve West as a narrator. So this is what I'm currently reading. This is what the cover looks like in case anyone's confused. This is book 2 in the series, and book 3 comes out in February of next year. So I won't have a whole long wait, but I will still have a little bit of a wait, if that makes sense. I'm gonna put the cover back on real quick, so that way I can put this book on the ground. Awkward silence, I'm sorry. Anyways, the next book I want to talk about is one that I actually read, and it's my October book club pick for Queer Reads, and that is The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. I read this one literally this weekend, and absolutely loved it. I give it 5 stars. I'll talk more about this in my September wrap up. Just know if you love Percy Jackson and the Hunger Games, you would definitely love this book. Wow, my voice is going out. This is a new release that I literally read this month, which is a bad thing for us readers to do that, just because I have to wait a whole year for the sequel. I know for the Season-a-thon Academy that I partake, which is why I read this book so early. I read this for the group book challenge and to read a book with foil on the cover, and there's definitely foil right there. And if you take off the dust jacket, there's a little skull right there. So I'm so happy I read this book. I absolutely loved it. Gave it 5 stars. Definitely one of my favorite reads in the month of September. Speaking of books I've already read and just wanted to own, I have the whole... I never done this before, I don't think, but I have the whole Illuminae trilogy by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I absolutely adored this series. When I realized I don't own a favorite series of mine, I immediately went to Amazon and bought all 3 of them. What's weird though, when I bought all 3 of these in the same order, they came different days, which is kind of weird. So in case you don't know what the Illuminae file order is, it's Illuminae, and then Gemina, and then Obsidio, which is probably my favorite out of the 3. But I love this series to death. My friend Charlie from the Bookish Fox on Instagram knows how much I love this series and how sad I was that I didn't own them. So now I have them in my library, and I cannot wait to reread these sometimes in the future when I'm feeling slumpy. And then speaking of books I've already read, I bought a copy of Malice by John Gwynne. I'm so happy I got this at Barnes & Noble. This was a little expensive for adult fantasy paperback. It was like $20, which is how much a hardcover would normally be. I'm not complaining though, because I love this series, and I actually want to reread. Even though I just read this series for the first time this summer, I want to reread it already. because I'm on book 3 right now and absolutely devouring book 3. So I cannot wait to see what book 3 and book 4 has in store. I know I have 2 books left, so I'm so sad that I have 2 books left. But overall, I'm really loving this series, and definitely check out the audiobooks for this one if you can. The next books I got are all from my Barnes & Noble haul, so I'm just going to fly through these because these are already shown off on my TikTok. But that is The 99 Boyfriends of Micah Summers by Adam Sass. Then I have a finished copy of Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. Then I have The Vanquishers by Kaylin Barron. I almost forgot who the author of this one is. Then I have a buddy read that I'm doing with my friend Taylor, and that is This Vicious Grace by Emily Thide. Both of us got a copy of this because it just sounds amazing, and we both are looking for spooky reads this year. So we're hoping this will be a good read. Then I have A Venom Dark and Sweet by Judy Island, the second and final book in the Magic Steeped Poison series. I'm not too sure what the name for the series is, but I have book 1 on my shelf, so I'm going to binge read this series this fall. Then I have one of my books that I've been looking forward to reading for a while now and finally bought a copy, and that is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Shuri. I'm so sorry if I butcher your name. This is the first book in an adult fantasy series, and I'm just so excited to dive into a new world and hopefully fall in love with these characters. I know my friend Zoran read this. I believe she read this series, and she actually really loved it. I know she definitely read the series because she read book 2 this month. I don't know what I'm thinking, but yeah, she definitely read the series. So Zoran, I have it now. Then I have 2 books from Disney Books that I got this month. Sorry, they're out of order for some reason. I have 2 books that I got sent to me to read and review, but sadly I didn't got around to reading them because there's no audiobooks for them yet. But that is Raising the Horsemen by Serena Valentino. This is a new YA, not thriller, but it definitely have Halloween spooky vibes. So I'm actually currently reading this. I'm not that far in. I'm like 3 chapters into it. But I'm hoping I will finish this one sometimes this week. If not, I'll take it camping to my camping trip that I have this coming weekend, which I'm so excited about. Another book that I'm so excited about is Surrey Boating's Guide to Vampire Hunting by Roseanne A. Brown. I might have shown these off before already, but these release in the month of September, so I like to show them off again. So thank you, Jamie from Rockstar Book Tours, for putting me on a tour for this. I'm so sorry for not getting my review up on time, but I definitely am still excited to read these nonetheless. But yes, this is a middle grade fantasy, African-American fantasy, I believe. So who knows? I think it will be fun, but a friend of mine already read this and he gave it 3 stars, so I'm nervous if I will love this one or not. Let's see, what do I want to go into? Next is a new release, and that is Defend the Dawn by Bridget Kemmerer. I bought this. Have I read book 1? No. Do I have a habit of doing that? Yes. I own book 1, which I'm gonna buddy read with my friend Taylor in October. And I think we're also gonna buddy read the sequel, depending on if she has the sequel or not. I know she has the first book for sure. I just don't know if she got the sequel yet. But if she did, we're gonna buddy read this trilogy and then have to wait for book 3 like everyone else. Then I have Maya and the Lord of Shadows by Raina Barron. This is the 3rd and final book in this middle grade trilogy. I'm so excited to read book 2 and 3 this year. Hopefully I'll get around to them because they're very, very short. And they're light, easy, middle grade fantasy. So they shouldn't be that hard to get into. I loved book 1. I gave book 1 a 5 stars. So I cannot wait to see what I will think of book 2 and 3. Next I have is I'm the Girl by Courtney Summers, another book that I'm really anticipating. This one I actually got the week of because I forgot it came out this month. I thought it would come out in like October for some reason. This is another YA thriller mystery type of book. But I hear it's not so much about the mystery as it is about like podcasting, I think, again. I think every single book Courtney Summer has some sort of podcasting element in it, which I really love. But the only book I read by her so far was Sadie, and I absolutely loved Sadie. I gave that one 5 stars as well. I own all her other books, Cracked Up to Be, The Project. I own those 2 and haven't read them, but I bought this and I haven't read it yet. Don't know why I do this to myself, but I do. So I might do like an author video or something like that soon. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm so excited to read this. This is definitely one that I'm anticipating the most. Speaking of a book I'm anticipating the most, this will be in my Chiller Thriller TBR video that I have coming up, which will go up before this video, so you should already seen it. But that is The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is Tiffany's newest newest YA thriller. That is a Carrie retelling. So I'm very curious and scared to get into this one because I love White Smoke by her, and I was definitely freaked out with White Smoke, so I have a feeling I'm going to be freaked out with The Weight of Blood. So yeah, I'm buddying this with my friend Lori and Ashley next month for their Chiller Thriller readathon that I made an announcement post about here on BookTube. So that video will be up above or down below as well. Don't know too much about this except it's Carrie remix, so we love that. Next is actually a book I haven't heard anything about, and I didn't know what it was about until I got it in my owl crate. And that was The Depths by Nicole Lespringas. I'm so sorry for butchering your last name. This sounds so good. It says, deep down underneath it all, the island heart beats. I know this is set on a mysterious island, and they are trapped, and they can't go unless they sacrifice one of themselves or something like that. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but this Owl Crate edition is just so stunning. It has gold foiled end pages, naked hardcover itself. Like, there's no title on the spine, which I love. And then, of course, the amazing artwork on the desk jacket. And, of course, it always has a letter from the author. And it's signed. So, we love a signed copy. Yes, we do. But, yeah, this is a new book by this author. I know she has books out already. I just never heard of this author until now. So I'm curious to see if I will love this one or not. On the opposite end of the spectrum, I have heard of this author, and that is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the second, and I think final book to this duology. I'm not too sure how long this series will be. I know I have Once Upon a Broken Heart. I actually have that on my September TBR, but I haven't got around to it yet, so I might be reading both of these in October. But I'm very excited to read this. I'm not going to talk much about this one since it is a sequel and myself hasn't read book 1 yet, so I don't want to spoil myself for what happens in book 1, but this is the beautiful Owl Crate edition. Next 2 books I have are my book of the month pick for the month of September, and I actually kind of forgot what my 2 books were when I was looking for on my TBR cart. But I have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is the second and maybe final book in the Love Hypothesis duology. I still need to read the Love Hypothesis, but when I saw that book of the month that had the sequel to the Love Hypothesis, I was A, shocked because they don't do a whole lot of sequels from Book of the Month, and B, happy because it's in hardcover and it matches my copy of the Love Hypothesis. Wow, I'm talking too fast. So this is an adult romance, and I'm excited to get into this series. I know it's getting a lot of hype from TikTok right now, so yay, book talk. Another book that I haven't heard a whole lot about, but I believe this is Lala from Books and Lala's book club pick for the month in October, and that is You're Invited by Amanda Jataisa. I'm so sorry for butchering your last name. I don't know too much about this, except this is a murder mystery set at a wedding on another deserted island. So I'm very excited to read this and intrigued by this one. Honestly, I got it just because it was Lala's book club pick, and I wanted to see if I would love this one. So we'll see if I will actually get to it. The next book I got was from a friend of mine on Instagram or one of her giveaways. She did a pre-order giveaway, and so she got me a copy of Babel by R.F. Kuang. I think their accounts are on here still, if I remember. Oh yeah, all their accounts is Book Rest Stop. I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad friend. But they hosted a giveaway and I won one of their giveaways. So I asked if I can get a copy of Babel, because not only have I read the Poppy War trilogy by this author, but this was just like a most anticipated read for me for the fall. So I'm so happy to have this in my possession. And oh my gosh, I am losing my voice. I am so sorry. We're almost there, you guys. Trust me. Next book I have is Almost There by Farha Rotkan. I'm so sorry if I butcher your name as well. This is the newest Twisted Tales series, or book in this series. This is book 13, I think. And I'm so excited to read this as well. It says, what if Tiana made a deal that changed everything? Dun, dun, dun. Like, it just sounds so good, and I need to get caught up with the series because I'm still behind on a few books from this world. But I definitely want to read this sometime soon. Another book that I got from Barnes & Noble but forgot to put it in that Barnes & Noble stack was A Taste of Magic by J.L. J.L. is the author of Wings of Ebony duology. I had to look at my shelf over here. I read that duology this year, absolutely loved it. So when I saw that she had a middle grade book out, I was shocked and happy. You can ask my friend Taylor. I literally jumped for joy when I saw this in the bookstore. So happy to have it in my collection, and I hope I love this one as much as I loved Wings of Ebony. Speaking of a good middle grade I loved, and I can't wait to read more of, is Amari and the Great Games by B.B. Allison. All of these last few books I bought from Amazon, so with the exception of one. But Amari and the Great Games is a sequel to Amari and the Night Brothers, which I and almost everyone else on this platform has read last year and absolutely fell in love with it. I cannot wait to read this. I know my friend Clint from Reads Readers channel, he absolutely devoured this in like 2 days, he said. So I'm so excited to do the same. And he also gave this one 5 stars. So I cannot wait to see if I will give it 5 stars, because we have similar reading taste, which we love. Next is a pre-order that came super late. This was supposed to come out August 30th, but I got it like September 1st or whatever that first Friday was. And that is Belladonna by Adelaide Grace. Like I said, this came out August 30th, but I never got my copy in until that first Friday of the month. I'm very excited to read this as well. I'm also buddy reading this with my friend Lori and Ashley next month for their readathon. Again, spoiler alert for my TBR. But I cannot wait to read this. This is another pre-order / anticipated read of mine. And I do own the e-arc from NetGalley, so once I do read this physical copy, I can put my review in on NetGalley, and I will do that immediately. The next few books I have are more August 30th release. Let me get this reread out of the way. So I'm going to be rereading They Both Die at the End by Adam Severa. I'm going to be rereading this because my book club is reading The First to Die at the End, which is a prequel to this one. We're reading The First to Die at the End in November, so I'm going to reread this probably in October or in November along with the book club. Now that I have my reread out of the way, the rest of these are August 30th releases, so I'm just going to fly through these. The first one I have is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm so excited for this. This is the third and final book in the Inheritance Game trilogy, and I own book 1 and 2. Actually, right there. It's kind of covered up. Baby Yoda is covering it up, but I cannot wait to read this. I'm actually planning on buddy reading this with my friend Kaylani over at Kaylani Sent Me. She texted me the other day asking me if I have read this one yet, and I haven't because I knew we were going to buddy read it. So Kaylani, I cannot wait to read this with you, so hopefully we'll both love it. The next book I might get some hate for, or I might not, depending on how you guys feel about this author. But I got a new Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and that is Carrie Soto is back. and I'm so happy to have this because I still have it, but I have an e-arc of this one as well from NetGalley, and I just never got around to reading it. So when I had that Amazon gift card, I was like, well, let's buy a finished copy of this. I thought Book of the Month will do a copy of this since she's popular on the Book of the Month website, but they didn't, which was kind of weird, but I'm happy that they released it in hardcover still. Don't know too much about this, except it's getting mixed reviews, and I'm curious to see if I will love this one or not. Another August 30th release was The Dragon Promise by Elizabeth Lim. This is the second and final book in the Six Crimson Cranes duology. I didn't realize this was only a duology until the author herself said it on Instagram. And so I'm very curious to see how this series will be able to like wrap up in 2 books. I haven't read book 1 yet, but I own both of them now, so hopefully I'll get to them soon. And the final book in my haul, I saved the best for last. I feel like every single video of mine, we have a Star Wars book, and that is nonetheless the same with this one. We have Star Wars, the Stories of Jedi and Sith by authors like Roseanne A. Brown, Delilah S. Harris, Michael Kogi, Michael McCrory, Bria Strange, Swata Chada, I'm so sorry for butchering these names, Tessa Granton, Sam Maggs, Alex Segura, and Karen Strong. There's a few authors in there that I recognize from other Star Wars projects, so I'm very excited to read this, and I don't know too much about this except obviously it's a short story collection. So we love a good short story collection. But yeah, I have the audiobook of this and I cannot wait to listen to it soon. So there you have it. That is my big September book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon. Without further ado, I will chat with you guys down in the comments. I hope you have a great day or night, and I'll chat with you down below. Bye.